How can I help you? Oh, you're a member of the Noir Veil family? In that case, you must be here to pick up those writing supplies. Is that correct? That's wonderful. Let me take a look at the manifest. Oh my, there's quite a bit in here, huh? If you don't mind me asking, what is all of this for? Perhaps I could recommend some of our other products to help? Oh, I see. Well, yes, I've heard that the Noir Veils have fallen on hard times. But I must say, it speaks volumes of your family's character that you haven't let that trickle down to us ordinary folk. So, this is all to help reorganize your financial records to see if you can find wasted expenses? Well, that is quite sensible. If there's anything we can do to help, please do let us know. Although, in the meantime, I may have to ask for your help first. Oh no, nothing like that at all. It's just that we're a bit short-staffed at the moment, and I have trouble with some of the heavier boxes. Could I ask one of your servants to carry them out to the carriage? Oh, I see. You have none to spare. Well, that makes sense with your financial troubles. Well then, I hate to ask a noble, but could you help me with them? Thank you. That's so generous of you. Please, come follow me into the back. Don't move. Stay quiet, or I'll knock you out if I have to. Ah, you recognized me just by the sound of my voice then. I must have made quite the impression on you. Well, I suppose that was bound to happen. You don't easily forget the voice of someone who held a knife to your throat, do you? Well, I'm glad I decided to disguise it then. So, what did you think of the disguise? I guess it was good enough to fool you, huh? Oh, please. It's not even my best work. One time, I had to disguise myself as a literal child. Now that one was a challenge. As for why I'm posing as a storekeeper, well, there are a few reasons. The first is that I wanted to let you know that I'm still keeping an eye on you. You've done well not to tell anyone about our meeting, but you're starting to get a little bold with your questions about the Blancmont family. Don't forget, you mustn't let anyone realize that you and I are affiliated. Not unless you join us, Blancmonts. Well, of course I could have just snuck into your room again to talk to you about this, if I were some rank amateur. Any decent assassin would know not to use the same approach twice. It's a good way to get caught, you know. But I doubt you would set any kind of trap for me. And I really doubt that any kind of trap you set would actually catch me. But there's no reason for me to be careless. No. I'm afraid I haven't had much luck on finding some other arrangement. I've pursued many possibilities, but I keep arriving at the conclusion that so long as you remain a part of the Noir Veil family, you'll be a threat to the Blancmonts. It's quite the conundrum, isn't it? Sometimes I wish you weren't so competent. But then I realized that if that were the case, then I wouldn't have likely fallen for you in the first place. And as easy as it would have made things for me, I can't say that I regret falling in love with you. For the longest time, the only thing I knew in life was my career as an assassin. It feels Liberating to have another goal now, something else to turn my attention to. I haven't given up, of course. If at all possible, I want to find a way to make this work for the both of us. Well, kidnapping you doesn't strike me as a very good way to begin a relationship. Speaking of which, I think that perhaps I didn't give you the best impression of me last time. Yeah, the death threat was the main issue, but it was an empty threat. I imagine that provides a little comfort, doesn't it? I made you feel unsafe in your own home when I snuck into your bedroom. That is the sort of thing that can stay with a person. Though I don't see how else I could have done it, I regret it nonetheless. But aside from threatening you, I feel like I've only presented one side of me to you, my professional side. I just want you to know that while I am an assassin, I have other aspects to my personality. I'll confess, even at the best of times, I'm not always especially expressive. I mean, when you make a living by killing, you start to feel a little numb to things. But still, I do like to laugh from time to time, and I even have my own pastimes. So, although I'm still looking for solutions, I would like to have the chance to show you a slightly more personable side of me. Perhaps if I can successfully woo you, you'll decide to come over to my side willingly, and that would solve everyone's problem at once. Yeah, I suppose I am asking you out on a date. I'm fairly confident that if I'm given the opportunity to show you what I can bring to the relationship, you'll find yourself drawn to me, as I am drawn to you. So, this is what I was thinking. A week from tomorrow, after the 6th bell has rung, I'll meet you in front of the local tavern. I'll be in a disguise, obviously. It wouldn't do for you to be seen with a blank monde now, is it? When I see you, I'll approach you and say, "You're neither early nor late." And that's how you know it's me. We can get a drink and a bite to eat, and if you want, I can take you out to a play. I do enjoy the theater, and I've selected one of my favorites. After that, well, we can keep it a surprise. What do you think? I can't exactly threaten you to agreeing to this, but that would defeat the purpose of endearing myself to you entirely. All I can do to convince you is to promise you an enjoyable evening. I suppose if you need incentive, you could consider it to be a chance to woo me back. I don't find it likely, but perhaps you could convince me you're worth abandoning the blank months after all. Oh, so you don't need convincing, do you? Well, that's quite flattering. In that case, thank you for giving me a chance. I feel a little bit silly. I'm supposed to be a hardened killer, but I just feel a little giddy that you agree to a date. Well, maybe it's because it's new territory to me. Well, yes, I've been in relationships before, but only ever as part of a cover. Usually to get information or to get close to someone. So, while I'm not inexperienced, this will be my first real date. I suppose I'll really have to put my heart into this one, huh? I've always just done enough to be appealing to my dates. Trying to go above and beyond for someone, that's going to feel strange. Oh, well, aren't you sweet? It makes me happy that you feel excited as well. Well, I must say, I wasn't expecting you to be quite so amiable After the last time, I mostly just pushed my feelings onto you and made it your problem. Well, yeah, true, I did spare your life, but that's rarely considered a noble thing. In my entire career, I have spared a small number of people, or at least tried to. But they have always responded by attacking me or trying to expose me. I'm very grateful that you're different. Well, then, it seems we'll be seeing each other again very soon. But, I have to leave, I'm afraid. The store owner will be back from the errand I tricked him into a few minutes ago. And when he gets back, I need to be gone. Or he'll have some questions for me that are best left unanswered. Oh, right, the boxes. Sorry, I don't have time to help with those. You can wait for the owner if you like. But just before I go, just keep an eye out, okay? You were very vulnerable today. And once again, you were fortunate that I don't wish you harm. You're a noble. I may not be the only assassin you'll ever encounter today, and I couldn't stand the thought of you being killed. For now, try not to be alone with strangers, okay? If you really can't spare servants, then find a friend or a family member to stick with you. Okay. Take care then. I can't wait for our date.